Hi there. Hi there. Welcome to my core routine. All you're going to need is yourself and a mat. But if you've got some weights and maybe a kettlebell, that's great. Maybe some water. I'm going to run through a routine. I'm going to use my timer for some of the exercises. Otherwise, I am going to be counting. So the objective of this session is to be reasonably quick and efficient. And if you like it, you can repeat it another time as well. So I'm just starting off with a standing crunch here, activating the core, elbow to knee. And I've done about 8. Let's go for 4 more. And 3, and 2, and 1. Okay, and we're going to do a bit of a side step next. Just get the blood pumping. If you've been sat still, particularly important, just get the blood pumping. So we can bring in the arms. So rest the arms. Nice. And 1 more. Okay, great. We're going to come down onto the mat and we are going to do something called the Russian twist. So we're putting our heels on the ground, interlacing our hands and twisting. Really leaning back as far as is comfortable, and you'll feel your core starts to activate. So we're warming ourselves up, activating our muscles before we work them. And breathe. We've done about 5. Let's go for 5 more. And 5. Center. And 4. And center. And 3. And center. 2. And 1. Oh my goodness, counting backwards. Sometimes I lose track. Right, okay. Next one, tall plank. And we are going to bring opposite knee to opposite elbow. Squeeze and set that foot back. And we'll go for 6 here. That's all. So we're really pressing through the heels of the hands, arching the shoulders slightly. And you'll feel that core really turn on. 3 and 2 more. And 1. So whichever range of motion you're comfortable with, that is good. And then hinge at the heels. I always like a quick downward facing dog. Deep breath. And back to tall plank. Nice. Okay, coming to the center of your mat, I'm going to take a sneaky look at what the routine I've got for you is. And yes, I'm going to come across to my weights. I've got a medium sized weight here. This one is 4 kilograms. And I'm going to stick my timer on. I'm going to do 30 seconds of exercise. And we're going to go through this twice. And yeah, enjoy it. So, first exercise. It's a reverse lunge. So you may be familiar with that, with just stepping back like so. We're going to have the weight in front of ourselves and bring it to one side. In front and the other side. Up in front, keep that core engaged. So this is with the twist, bringing the weight to the hip, obviously activating the core through necessitating our balance. You see our imbalance. You have to concentrate. And good, 30 seconds. It's quite quick. So now we're going to come to, I'm going to start on my right hand side. It's my slightly stronger leg. I'm going to place my left hand on the top of the thigh and I'm rowing. I love this one. You might not think this is for the core, but actually with the front knee bent and the back leg straight, you have to engage the core to keep that neutral spine. I'm using my shoulder and row. And row. And row. And row. And row. So this is actually almost a bit of balance. We're working up into that. So we're going to stay on this side, right leg in front. We're going to bring this weight into both hands. And I'm going to lift the back leg and hinge at the hip. So I'm lifting and lowering. Hold and back. This is a balance. It's called the Romanian deadlift. It's a funny old name. Don't worry about that. Breathing in all the way down. Press the heel up and back and coming back to the beginning. Again, don't worry about rushing. Think about a nice straight spine. It does take a bit of practice. If you wobble, just don't worry. Okay, we're going to do the same on the other side. We're starting with this alternate wood chop. Okay, and reverse lunge. And that's it. And nice. Weight up, reverse lunge, and press back up. Reverse lunge. So it's called the wood chop. Breathe. So it's a bit like punting. Someone said to me the other day, reminded me that is what I used to say. It's quite right. So it's a bit like punting, that movement with your arms. Okay, single side, staggered stance. This time left leg bent, right leg back. Hinge and row. Elbows just skimming the side of the waist. And nice. Using that shoulder blade, pushing the hips back, and then you do feel you have to engage the core. So although we're working arms in the back, we are working the core too. One of the best exercises you can do with weights. So if you don't have weights at all, or you've got a lighter weight than I've got, don't worry. It still works with no weight. You can clench your fist and just engage those muscles. So here we're doing the same thing. We're going to hinge and lower. So off we go. Yes, we do have a bit of rest between exercises. Time to set up. If you can, actually bringing the weight up is also really good. So bringing the knee to hip height, balance, and then hinging and pressing back. There's a development. Oh, and it might feel harder on one side than the other. So there goes the ding. We've got the 10 seconds. Little rest. So we've done both sides. That was 6 exercises. We're going to do it one more time. Okay, it's only 30 seconds. And up and chop and back. And chop. Keep nice and steady. Fix your gaze on a point to help yourself. Press through that back foot. Keep the knee, front knee over the heel. Nice. Good work. Okay. Right leg. Okay, staggered stance. Bend that knee. I've got my weight in my right hand. And push the hip back. And row. And row. And here we can also concentrate on the timings a little bit. So up with power, lower under control. Feel the arm having to work a bit harder now. Also maybe the hamstring and glute of that leg. That's this forward right leg. Row and lower. One more. Ooh, and lower. Good. And Romanian deadlift. Again, we can add in this setup phase. Ooh, let's skip ahead. And 30 seconds. Off we go. And up, balance. Concentrating. Breathing in and hinging. Pressing that heel back. I'm bending that knee a little bit as I hinge. That's okay. Try to keep my hips square. So the balance comes from the core, partly. Obviously the legs, the strength in the legs is really key as well. It's all good. Okay. Same thing, opposite side. Okay, left side, but with wood chop to begin with. Again, last time. Forwards and back. So allow your gaze to come to the hip as we twist. That's good. And forwards. Back. And forwards. And forwards. And breathing out as I lift that weight. Okay, good. Left leg forwards this time. And I've got my weight in the left hand. Right hand on the top of that thigh. And let's row. So again, power and slowly down. Such a good whole body exercise. Again, sometimes I quite like to have music, sometimes not. Feel free to add your own as you work along. Okay, last exercise in this segment, we are going to hinge. So it's the left leg up, right leg up, sorry, we're standing on the left leg, and off we go. Romanian deadlift. So you can build up to working with heavier weights as you get stronger on these single-sided balances. But don't forget to activate the core. Even with a lighter weight, it makes all the difference. Oh, I'm trying to keep my back nice and straight. Last one. Okay, brilliant. Next circuit we've got coming up. Let's stop this ding before it goes. Nice, okay. Bit more dynamic. So I've got my medium weights. I do also have a kettlebell here. So if you have a kettlebell or a medium weight like I have, which happens to have a handle, anything like that is great. Equally, you could try and utilise any weight you have to hand or just join in with the motion. Okay, for now, it's fine as well. So we're going to do a slightly longer exercise to begin with. We're going to do a whole minute of a kettlebell swing with single arm. So if you haven't done this before, it's a hinge. So it's a bit like a squat, hinge and press. The reason why we really like this one for the core, this is how we protect the back. We have to keep the core engaged. So this is what we're doing. We're going for a minute. I'm counting. I'm doing 2 swings with each hand. If you're not sure about this, if you've got maybe access to a kettlebell and you're not sure, just start off with the arm, with the motion. So it's a hinge. Hips come back. We breathe in on the way down. Keep the chest forwards. That's nice. We really feel the heart rate start to come up here. And keep that core squeezed in tight. So I'm working my glutes and the core is whole body. But the arms, we're not using them except for incidentally. We're powering through the heels and the arms are just coming up. We've got 10 more. 10. Keep breathing. That's really great. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, nice. Nice work if you had a go. Okay, we're coming to the next exercise for which I'm going to use my medium weight. Squat and rack. I'm going to put my 30 seconds on after I've shown you what I'm doing actually. So the squat and rack, squat and press. And we're just going to go one side and then we're going to do the other immediately afterwards. So yeah, it's fine to have a little break after that kettlebell swinging. Let your heart rate come down a bit. And off we go. Right hand side, we're squatting and racking. So unlike the kettlebell swing, we're lowering at the knees. We're not hinging so much. And we're pressing overhead. Nice and simple. Keeping the heart rate up by pressing overhead, over heart level. Nice, and we're going to switch. So we're going to hold this weight, palm facing forwards, the weight is resting on my bicep. I'll show you sideways on. The squat comes down and press. Down and press, nice. Squeeze the core in. People underestimate how much we use our core when we squat, or at least we should. It protects our back And we get more benefits in doing so. Brilliant. Okay, what have we got next? Side lunge, figure of 8. I'm going to go back to the slightly heavier kettlebell I've got because I really love this one. We are bending and at the same time we're passing the kettlebell underneath our knee. Straightening one leg, passing the kettlebell. If you've got a lighter weight, it's absolutely fine. All of us want to try and emphasize the effort through this outside leg as we move across. Keeping the shoulder blades squeezed together. Whew, that's nice. Press and switch, passing that kettlebell behind the knee. If you can, switch direction. Amazing. But we could get to that next time. Okay. And that's it for now. We're starting at the beginning. The ding's ahead of me. Okay, kettlebell swing. Off we go. So, single side, it's a hinge and snap. Push through the heels, pelvis forward. Squeeze that core in. Yes, it is core exercise, I promise you. I've done 3 there. Whoops. 2 and 1. Push through the heels. Squeeze the core. And I'm going to do 1 extra. I was a bit late. There we go. Brilliant. Okay. I'm going to try and stick with this. We're squatting and racking. And off we go. Squat and press. So use the legs and press the arm overhead as you're pushing through the heels, and it makes it that much more doable. Good work. And press. It's getting hard work now. I like challenging myself. So yeah, go for it if you feel that it's comfortable for you. And press. It's only 30 seconds. Woo. Okay, and other side. Make sure you're comfortable. Any shoulder issues, obviously, don't go too heavy. And keep that core squeezed in, coming as low as you can. Concentrating on pushing through the heels. The press overhead can be almost a red herring. But to work single-sided like this, it's actually very beneficial for fitness in general. Okay. Catching our breath, you'll remember this one. Side lunge with the pass, the kettlebell pass through. Let's try and go the other way, if you can. Oh, good. Keeping the shoulder blades back, core engaged, switch and pass, and switch. And breathe. Now, the key to doing this one properly is actually not looking at the kettlebell. You know you're going to catch it behind the knee, whichever direction you're going in, it's behind the knee. Yeah. Okay, good work. Let's take a quick break. What's coming next? We're about halfway already. This is really good. So, yes, we are coming down onto the mat. Just catching my breath. So we've got a series of, let's just count, 6 exercises coming up. We're going to do those 6 times, and then we've got a fast finisher. So we're about halfway. These ones are more traditional kind of core work. So definitely, I'm looking forward to this. Yeah, it's really important to make time for core. It makes such a difference. Okay, we're starting on the mat, and we're in tall plank, and we're going to do something I call ankle tap. We're hinging, we're pushing the hips back, keeping the core engaged. So breathing out as I reach across. If you can only reach higher up the leg, that's fine, provided you're pulling that tummy button in towards the spine. You feel the stretch down the back of the legs as well. That's brilliant. Tall plank and tap. Tall plank and tap, going at your own speed. Excellent. Next exercise, tall plank, knee to elbow. So, we did this one We did this one or similar in the warm-up, so knee to opposite elbow, but this time slight dip in the hip and back. Knee to opposite elbow, twist the hip, lower and back. Keep that core really engaged, pulled in tight. It's only 30 seconds, so if the dip is too much, just do the squeeze and push through the heels of the hands. Try and arch the shoulders. Get that retraction in the scapula. Ooh, it gives that extra challenge to the abdominals. Okay, brilliant. I can't see my plan. Next one. Flipping over onto our backs. And it's a bicycle crunch. One you're probably all familiar with. Pushing the leg out, lifting diagonally opposite, shoulder off the mat. Keeping, really importantly, the hips pressed into the mat. As we twist and press, twist and press and lift. So yeah, few things going on here all at once, provided you've got those abdominals pulled in tight. Doesn't matter what pace you're going at. Doing this at all is going to help improve that abdominal strength and tone, which is what we're hoping to improve. Okay, so butterfly crunch. Let me pause a second. Gosh, it stresses me out sometimes, that buzzer. Soles of the feet together. We're going to lie back down and we're going to interlace the hands, place them behind the head, breathe in and lift the shoulder blades off the mat. And off we go. The buzzer went. Ding, whatever you call it. And pulse and lower. Breathe out on the way up. In on the way down. And lift as high as you can. Don't pull the head. And as we get through this exercise, you'll begin to feel this is working the upper part of the abdominals. Breathing in all the way down, really important for avoiding stressing out the neck. Nearly there. Oh, yes. I thought I tapped it. It's about 30 seconds. I will tap it for the next one, let me tell you. Okay, reverse crunch. Oh, I like this one. Okay, let me show you again before I do start my timer. So arms active by your side. Start with your knees bent over the hips, and we're just going to lift the hips and reach the toes towards the ceiling. This is called a reverse crunch. So have a go. And pull that tummy button in towards your spine. Lift the hips and squeeze and lift and squeeze. Try not to bring the toes too far forwards on the way down. Focus on that upward movement. Use your breath. Keep the head and neck nice and relaxed. Arms straight. Yes, I did press it. Okay, I can feel this now. We've got one last exercise here, and we're coming into bridge. So I've got my feet on the mat, and I'm just lifting one leg at a time, pressing the foot that's still on the ground into the mat, activating the glutes, but stabilizing through the core. Nice. Breathe. Steady and active. And lowering it down. Woo. Right, round one done. One more time through. So we're back to, in a moment, we're coming back to the tall plank with the ankle tap. Again, 30 seconds. And when the ding goes, off we go. Tap. You might find your hamstrings are a bit looser this time and come back a bit further. Think of the chest, your ribs moving towards the front of your thighs and squeezing that core inwards. Squeeze and tap. Squeeze and tap. Tap. Squeeze and tap. Nice. And stopping there. Next exercise, tall plank, knee to elbow and dip. Okay. And off we go. And back. Knee to elbow and back. Hip dip. Knee to elbow, squeeze the core in at the same time as you bring that hip towards the mat. So this is really working the obliques actually if we get this twist in. Whereas if we don't, if we do the one I suggested at the beginning without the twist, it's more the center of the front of the abdominals. Okay, we're flipping over, Icicle Crunch, and pressing the hips into the mat. Fingertips to ears, lifting one shoulder blade, and the elbow towards opposite knee. Twist and lift and press. Keep those knees over the hip. Try to make sure you lift the elbow that much, that bit towards the knee. This is where it all happens. Nearly there. It's quite a lot to think about. But if you're doing all of that, it's really brilliant and it is going to work. All right, so soles and feet together. Little break. Are we ready? Off we go. Keep the knee pressed out and down. It may feel a little bit odd at first, but this positioning of the legs, make sure that we only work, we isolate the upper abdominals. That's what we're doing. And lift. Pulse, pulse, let's finish strong. Oh! Ah, really nice. Okay, next one is the reverse crunch. Yes. Arms active. Shoulders on the mat, nice and relaxed. And up we go. We are pressing those toes up towards the sky, up towards the ceiling. Keep the tummy nice and active. And up. Up. Oh, you know it's not too long. Keep it going. If you really need a break, you can have a break. And then start again. And whew, excellent work. Next one. Last one. It's rather nice, this one. We get to come up into bridge, press through the heels. And we're just pressing firmly. Staying active. Catching our breath. Really good. Keep that pelvis up by pressing through that heel. We should be resting just on our shoulder blades here. And the knee that comes up comes just over that hip. I think my hips came down a little bit. There. Okay, really, really good. We're into the finishing straight here. So I'm going to reset my timer. If I can just stop it. Seems to have a mind of its own. And stop. Okay, we've got 3 exercises we're going to do 3 times. So this is the gold standard of improving fitness, this format. So it's all a bit quicker. We're just going to do 25 seconds. 2 options here. So we can either do the tall plank and jump, or we can stay in tall plank and just jump in and out. So pick the level you want to work at, but bear in mind it's only 25 seconds. This is the really big heart rate raiser, this number 1. So don't panic. Second one, Russian twist like we did in the warm-up. We're going to do this with a heel tap, twist and tap, twist and tap. Okay, don't worry, I'll do this in real life and you can follow along. The next one is tall plank again, but we're just bending the knees. So this is really good for the lower abdominals, 25 seconds. So really, I think you'll want to go for it for this first one. And the timer is about to come on. Catch your breath. And if we can, tall plank, jump out, jump in, little jump. Down into tall plank, and in. And it's the bringing those feet in that works the core. If you are down here in tall plank, keep those hips back, core engaged, it's just as good. And then see how many you can do in 25 seconds, whichever version you are on. Woo, there was a whistle, brilliant. Okay, down onto the mat. Russian twist position, and off we go. That seemed like longer than 10 seconds. So, keeping the core engaged, keep the shoulder blades squeezed together, and lift, and twist, and lift, and twist. You can use a small weight if you want here, but I find concentrating on form is quite enough. The spine should be nice and neutral. Very, very good. Okay, last one here. Back to tall plank. Use the 10 seconds. Hips up. And we're just bending these knees. Shins are coming horizontal to the mat. Dip and straighten. Keep the arms under the shoulder blades. Palms, fingertips spread nice and wide. And head up a bit. Because if you're doing anything like I was, head tends to come down a bit. We want to have a neutral spine. Nice straight spine. Brilliant. Round one done. Okay. Deep breath. We know what's coming next. And it's the tall plank and jump. You might know what it's also called. But this is an easy one. No press in between. Just keep it simple. Jump out, jump in, and up. Jump out, jump in, and up. And up. Feeling this in the legs now as well. Woo. Nearly went to do another one. Brilliant. Okay. Russian twist. Leaning back, hinging. Not hinging, leaning back. And march. And twist. Lifting the heel. Same side as we're turning towards. I've got my fingers interlaced. And I'm leaning back as far as I can to challenge my core. Nearly there. Ah, we've done it. Okay, into tall plank. Nice. Nice straight arms. And just bending the knees. And straightening, bending and straightening. Nice. Keep that core active. Tummy button squeezing into the spine. Nearly done. Excellent. Oh, this is the last round already. Not too bad, you see. Okay. Okay. And out in, how many can you do? I'm counting myself. Let me know if you've beaten me. You might do. Woo. It's quite tiring. Oh, I think I did 9. 8, 9? Oh my God, it's amazing. You can lose count really easily through concentrating. Okay. Next one. And twist. And lift. And twist. And squeeze that tummy button in. Don't lean back so far that it starts to be uncomfortable. Keep it sensible. Okay, great. Last one. Flipping over and going the other way. And we're bending the knees, remember. Last exercise in this workout. And straighten. Dip and straighten. Breathing is so important. You can pace yourself. Keep everything working. And we're going to go into a very quick cool down. Let's stand up, hamstring curl. So I put core crushing. This wasn't really, the core was very important in this workout, so excellent work. But we also used the legs quite a bit and the arms and shoulders. So really, it was a bit more than just the core. Super good functional workout, to be honest. So let's just come down into a squat, bring the hand to the opposite knee and reach up and around. And the same thing on the other side. Into a squat, reach up, look up to that hand behind you. Really nice. And we started off with this standing crunch. So this is a really nice way to finish as well. We're not squeezing super hard, but we're just bringing that heart rate down reasonably slowly. And finally, we're just going to step back into a reverse lunge. If you need to bring your knee down, that's fine. Press forward and lift the arms. Bit of a stretching the core if we arch the back and open the chest. Hold for one more breath. Really good. And let's switch sides. And if you want to pop up onto your toe, that's fine. You can open the arms, bring the elbows back, arch back slightly and hold here, or bring the knee down. Nice stretch in the front of the hip flexor here too. And big breath. Excellent. And bringing the hands down onto the floor into box position. Hinge at the hips. Bring the forehead down to the mat. Deep breath. And finish with a quick child's pose. Always a nice